A fan sent us an extremely damaged Apple phone from the remnants of the frame. This should be an iPhone 12 Pro. Honestly, I racked my brain but couldn't figure out how the phone got this damaged. We called the fan to discuss. He only cried and begged us to fix the phone so it could power on and retrieve the data. He said he was willing to pay any amount but didn't mention how the damage happened. The fan said the phone contained videos, photos, and audio files of his recently deceased father. His sobbing was filled with regret, guilt, and endless longing for his father. When we took apart the motherboard, we found the dual-layer board had been split in two. At least we didn't need to separate the layers ourselves. As we inspected the top logic board, our hearts sank. The CPU had a massive crack at one spot. Under the microscope, after cleaning it, we saw a deep dent in the CPU. Next, we checked if the hard drive was damaged. Luckily, there was no visible damage to the hard drive. The data is stored on the hard drive, but it is encrypted between the CPU and the drive. If either is damaged, the data is irretrievable. With this kind of CPU damage, even transferring chips to another board has an extremely low success rate. While 20 plus of our technicians shook their heads and gave up, our master technician Tony stepped up. This time, all 20 plus of them bet Tony 2 sodas each that he couldn't fix it. The bets were really to encourage Tony. We needed to transplant the chips with the data onto a functional motherboard to try to preserve the information. First, we removed the damaged CPU. Then, we stripped the adhesive from the hard drive. Next, we detached the hard drive. We cleaned off the black adhesive from the CPU. Then, we applied solder to the CPU. Some people quietly watch the video, but they secretly like, comment, share, repost, and follow. Those people are just so adorable. We also cleaned the black adhesive from the hard drive and applied solder to it as well. We brought in a tested motherboard without a CPU or hard drive. First, we installed the hard drive containing the data. Then, we installed the CPU. After the installation, we cleaned the motherboard. We powered it on for testing. The thrilling moment arrived as we pressed the power button. The current spiked to 800 milliamperes, and the CPU area of the motherboard became extremely hot. We applied rosin to the CPU area and powered it on again. The heat melted the rosin, pinpointing the damaged part of the CPU. Could it be that the CPU was really beyond repair? We tested the capacitors on the CPU power circuit and found multiple short circuits. This confirmed the CPU itself was damaged. There was another possibility. The CPU's RAM could be damaged, causing the short circuits. Since RAM can be replaced, we used a CNC machine to grind off the RAM layer of the CPU. After grinding, we exposed the main CPU. Residual adhesive remained, which we cleaned off. We tested the motherboard again with the power supply. After pressing the power button, the high current persisted. The CPU power path was still shorted. It seemed hopeless, but Tony wasn't ready to give up. Could the problem have been caused by overheating at the board's bottom layer? We removed the lower main CPU for further testing. The previous short circuit locations now showed normal resistance and no longer shorted. This confirmed that the CPU was entirely destroyed. Unfortunately, there was no way to recover the data. We're truly sorry we couldn't retrieve your phone's data, but we genuinely gave it our all. A reminder to everyone, always back up important data in time. Some moments, once lost, can never be recovered. We started a love project and used part of the income from mobile phone repair to help stray cats, but we still ran into financial difficulties. To support us, you can send gifts in the comments, and in order not to burden you financially, the gifts need not be worth more than $1.